Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And yes, earlier this morning, Sprint reported their earnings call, and they actually beat estimates. So analysts have been reporting, starting yesterday, that Sprint would take a total loss on postpaid. They wouldn't gain as much as they were expected to gain. So Sprint actually gained 368,000 postpaid customers that pay at the end of every month in this quarter, which they beat Verizon and AT&T. In this quarter, again, they gained more postpaid subscribers than both of them. Didn't get close to T-Mobile, but T-Mobile is on a whole nother level right now as a company. So, but their Sprint is definitely getting better by adding postpaid customers, which is really good. Now on the prepaid side, I didn't want to report that at all because Sprint has been losing prepaid customers every quarter. So simultaneously, while they have been gaining subscribers on the postpaid side, they've always been losing a heavy amount of prepaid subscribers at the same time these past few quarters. Marcelo said on the earnings call this morning that will change in year 17. So I'm waiting to see how they're going to relaunch Boost Mobile and Virgin Mobile. All I could think of is that they're going to, put more money into marketing because their prepaid plans are already pretty cheap. So I don't know if they can go any cheaper. So that'll be interesting to see also. So that is definitely really, really good for Sprint. This is according to Marcelo's plan, how he wanted it to pan out. He wanted it to focus on postpaid, which he did, and he started gaining customers. And now he also wants to focus on prepaid. So according to his plan, it's planning out. That Marcelo took a company from scratch and turned it into $1 billion company before. So he's done it before. So, you got to trust the man. And one way or another, we got to trust him. Also, one thing that I want to point out to you guys that I heard on the earnings call, they're going to cut CapEx again for this fiscal year, and it's going to be down to $2.3 billion. So Sprint's fiscal year is a little different. So the numbers that they reported, they're still in quarter 3 and everybody's in quarter 4. So just letting you guys know. So they cut that down, part of a cost reduction. Going into 2017, Sprint is also looking to cut another $2 billion in operating costs. They didn't really, go into detail how they would do it, but that's for, the fiscal year of 2017. They're still in 16. So this is definitely, a lot of people showed mixed emotions when they said this. A lot of investors didn't really like it, for what I've read, that they're going to go even lower on the network spending. But Sprint says that they found a way to somehow catch up to the carriers by spending less on the network side. Using their spectrum, the new technology, the cutting edge technology, HPUE, is going to penetrate Band 41 into buildings on the 8th, 9th floor, more small cells. So in other words, this is just my opinion, I think Sprint is saying that they can compete with carriers without adding a heavy amount of macro cells, towers. I think that's what they're saying, that with the amount of towers that they have now and this new technology and the spectrum, that they can compete with the carriers. That's what they're saying, because what I'm about to show you guys here in a little while, you're going to say, okay, now we see why there's such a big difference between the carriers. So here it is. So wireless capital investment. Verizon spent in quarter 4 $3.5 billion just in that quarter alone. Sprint in all of 2016 so far spent $1.7 billion, which they will get up to $2.3 billion at the end of their fiscal year. So that is a bit concerning for investors. For me, I mean, if they can implement all that technology, the MIMO, the Qualms, and compete with all the carriers, because they're working on the 4th carrier for this year, 4-channel carrier aggregation for the year of 17. Their COO announced it at an interview. They will be rolling that out in the year of 2017. So this, I don't, because most of their technology on the towers allows them now to do everything via software upgrades. Once they implemented the Nokia equipment, the Qualm, the MIMO, all that is done via software. So, and the HPUE is pretty much added into the network at almost no cost for Sprint. So, definitely a bit concerning for investors, but stock has been going up, gradually since they announced again that they've added customers. So definitely a good sign at Sprint. And then here also RootMetrics, which is one of the biggest testing firms for carriers, says that Sprint's network in just the year of 2016, from the first half to the second half, improved nearly 50%. This testing firm only tests carriers in metropolitan areas, such as bigger cities, the top 120 markets: Chicago, New York, Kansas City, Phoenix. El Paso is on the list as well. I don't know why Sprint hasn't been more aggressive in El Paso. El Paso is the 19th largest city population-wise, so maybe they're already starting now, but maybe in the year of the fiscal year of 17, we'll get a bigger boost here. But this is good news. This made investors happy. So definitely things are really turning around at Sprint. I know a lot of you guys had bad experiences. I read your comments. Not a fanboy at all, just reporting good news. This is really good news for us, because that means Sprint and T-Mobile are holding their ground and holding their own, and they can keep offering their promos and their unlimited. So eventually down the line, Verizon and AT&T will budge. If the numbers keep looking the way they are, they will budge, and they will start offering cheaper plans at more gigabytes. Even Verizon might come out with an unlimited plan. So this is really good for us, the consumer. So here's another screenshot of a 3-channel carrier aggregation test. This one's even faster than the one I posted last night. So once again, this is probably in an ideal condition. As you can see, full 5 bars. So further away from the tower, you're probably not going to see these speeds, but you should see about a 10% increase in speeds further away from the tower. So that is definitely a good sign as well. Adding more capacity, and then they are bringing carrier aggregation to the upload side as well. So definitely exciting things happening there. And then this right here, what I'm about to show you, as you can see, Sprint expanding distribution 5 to 1,000 stores in 17 to boost net adds. So Sprint is expanding their footprint once again. So this leads me to believe, and this is just my opinion, that there will be no merger between Sprint and T-Mobile. If there was a merger, I don't think SoftBank would allow Sprint to expand into another 1,000 stores in the fiscal year of 2017. And they are on track for that fiscal year to add that 5,000 of new employees that they were, him and Trump were talking about a few months back. So I don't think these type of expansions would be happening if they are merging with T-Mobile. Plus, SoftBank just made an initial investment in another company for like $30 billion, and then they have to come up with another $25 billion for an investment. So SoftBank is really tight on money. And after this last quarter, T-Mobile's market cap just went up again. And if they want to buy it out cash, there's a premium price for Deutsche Telekom that they're going to want to pay. let's say T-Mobile's valued at 40 billion for the price. You know, Deutsche Telekom is going to ask probably, you know, I'm just throwing out rough numbers, you know, 60 billion as a premium. So I don't think SoftBank can fork up that money to buy T-Mobile. So definitely looks like that T-Mobile and Sprint are going separate ways in that regard, but they are both going in, you know, towards the same direction as far as expansion and adding stores and employees. So definitely interesting time. Just wanted to report this to you guys. You know, give it a thumbs up, keeps me motivated, keeps me going. And stay tuned for the next video. Got some more stuff coming up for you guys, some network, not comparisons, but coverage comparisons on an updated map. So definitely stay tuned for that. Like, share, and subscribe. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.